Recently I had a chance to take quite an unusual trip from my other career as a speaker, and I thought I'd bring you along for the trip, which began, rather splendidly, in a chauffeur-driven car to Gatwick Airport, courtesy of Emirates. From the dedicated Emirates drop-off point, it's just a quick walk through security to the Emirates Lounge.
It's been a long time since I've done one of these, years actually, but it's an interesting trip, and you guys keep asking for them. You say you like them, so we're going to do it, and if you don't like it, then you only have yourself to blame. Here's the plan. I am flying to Cebu in the Philippines to give a speech, and I thought I would bring you along for the ride. I'm at Gatwick Airport. I have a soft spot for this airport for a lot of reasons, mainly because it's close to my house. In the Emirates Lounge, which is a great lounge. The only thing that's lacking is there's no views of the airport, which is kind of a bummer, but other than that, it is, as one would expect from Emirates, a great lounge. In a couple of hours, I will fly to Dubai, 7 hours, have a couple of hours in Dubai airport before getting on a flight to Cebu, another 9 and a bit hours. Get off the plane, go straight into some meetings. Next day I give a speech, fly back, even more convoluted route. I'll be traveling for a lot longer than I'll actually be on the ground at Cebu, but some interesting experiences and products and services along the way that as a plane dork I appreciate, and maybe you will as well. So, let's give it a whirl, see what happens.
As I mentioned, I like this lounge a lot. It's bright, comfortable, and spacious, and the food and amenities are excellent. And so are the drinks, but I chose not to partake in either of those because I knew what was coming up. So enough of this land-based nonsense. Let's board, because this is something else. Emirates First Class. Of the 517 seats on this A380, just 14 are in first class. And the seat itself, well, is more than a seat. It's a suite with a closing door for privacy and an extraordinary collection of features and amenities. But before we get into that, let's start with a beautiful Arabic coffee and a glass of champagne I absolutely cannot afford. Veuve Clicquot on the ground, Dom Perignon in the air. More on that later, though. Okay, let's have a look around this astounding suite. Obviously, there's the seat itself, which is huge and extremely comfortable. It's also fully motorized and controlled via the separate touchscreen controller. This device also controls your IFE, the lights, the door, as well as displaying the moving map. Oh, and it's detachable too somehow. In the table in front of you, there's a makeup mirror complete with high-end skincare products. There's also a snack basket full of treats and wellness products, as well as a pen and leather-bound writing pad. To your left, there is, rather incredibly, a motorized drinks cabinet should you require a refreshment mid-flight and not want to bother the extremely attentive cabin crew. Then, of course, there is the monstrous screen, a 32-inch LCD screen that dominates the suite and showcases Emirates' insane content library of movies, TV including live TV, podcasts, music, and games. But let's get up in the air first. Shortly after takeoff, you're served warm nuts along with the incredible wine list. Emirates is one of the largest buyers of Dom Perignon in the world, and their wine warehouse in Burgundy houses 4 million bottles of wine valued at nearly $1 billion. So, time for a glass of wine I absolutely cannot afford. Then it's time to eat. You can actually choose to eat whenever you like, but why would I wait? It's a white tablecloth affair with beautiful china and flatware. You start with an amuse-bouche, which was absolutely delicious. Then your bread basket appears with your appetizer. I opted for the full Arabic meze, which was fantastic and could easily have been a main meal. The main course, however, was a spiced Emirati lamb dish served on a bed of rice. And the meal was finished with a decadent chocolate dessert with caramel ice cream. All of it restaurant quality. Absolutely staggering. At the front of the first class cabin, there is a self-service snack bar alongside an actual bar showcasing the incredible collection of alcohol I absolutely cannot afford. That bar is right next to the shower, by the way. Yes, there is a shower too, in fact, with great water pressure, plenty of amenities including a hairdryer, and all of the toiletries you could possibly need. Yes, I took a shower. No, I'm not going to show you. I want to introduce you to a couple of new travel companions. Meet the Bellroy Venture Ready Sling. Now, you'll notice this about my person in this episode and in every episode that we filmed since I got it. And no, not just because Bellroy is a partner, it's just that damn useful. I love this thing. It's perfect for travel when you need easy access to the essentials. It's compact, so it's not cumbersome to wear all day. It looks great, and it's got loads of thoughtfully designed pockets. Perfect for quick access to everything you need without weighing you down. But when the journey demands more, my other friend, the Bellroy Venture Duffel, steps in. This is a perfect companion for those extended trips with its tough, durable, water-resistant exterior and enough space for a long weekend's worth of clothes and all my tech gear. And I love how both products have this neat little Apple AirTag slip pocket for added peace of mind. The Venture Sling and Duffel complement each other perfectly, so I've teamed up with Bellroy to offer those two products as a set. And you can get 15% off that set by using the link in the description below. You can also get 10% off any other Bellroy product by using the additional link in the description. So go grab one of my sets and check out the fantastic line of Bellroy travel products while you're there. Soon, my Emirates First Class experience was drawing to an end, and my tight connection in Dubai was looming. Fortunately, the IFE displays all of the information you need for your onward journey, so just enough time left over for a glass of whiskey I absolutely cannot afford. Got my money's worth, people. Got my money's worth. My layover in Dubai was brief, but I was met off the plane by an Emirates employee who personally escorted me to the lounge near my gate. Another excellent Emirates lounge, this time with views. Then on to my next flight, Dubai to Cebu, this time slumming it in business class like a peasant. This flight was on a 777, which has a different business class seat than the A380. It's a clamshell style seat that doesn't go fully flat, but to be honest, by this point I was so exhausted that I could have slept standing up in the toilet and been happy. The 8-hour flight was mostly spent comatose but comfortable. Before I knew it, the cabin lights were on, the cabin crew were hustling around us, and through the window, a new country, for me at least, emerged through the clouds. The Philippines. More precisely, Cebu. A quick drive from the airport to the event location, and the first part of my odyssey was at an end.
Well, I made it, finally. It's quite a journey. I don't think I've done a journey like that in a long time where I've had to break it up over 2 long sectors because there's no other way to get it. There's no non-stop journey because it's just too far. And I think the conclusion I've reached is I don't care how comfortable you are or how good your seat is on the airplane. It's tiring. That stuff is tiring. Or I guess the alternative is maybe I'm just getting old. Or maybe it's both. Anyway, I am here in the Philippines. This is my first time in the Philippines, a new country, my 65th country. I'm not saying that for any other reason than to contextualize something I rediscovered, which is that feeling, that pinch of excitement when you see a new country emerge through the clouds for the first time. I don't think there's anything quite like it. I don't care how cynical or how jaded you have become. That is a wonderful, wonderful feeling, and I'm delighted to finally be here for lots of reasons. That feeling for me, however, was quickly followed by disappointment. Disappointment because I am here for such a short period of time, and most of it is going to be spent not in shorts and in the ocean, but in jeans and in a conference room, which makes it even more painful when you have this staring you in the face. And I suppose in a way it's good motivation for me to hurry back here as soon as I can, which I will do everything I can to make happen. Anyway, I got here last night and went straight into meetings, literally from the airplane, from the airport into meetings and dinners. And I met some super interesting people with some really inspiring and fascinating stories. And actually that's one of the joys of my other line of work, and this line of work actually, is meeting people and just listening to them. I am relentlessly curious about people, so hearing their stories is a joy for me. So that was That was kind of fun. Today is all speeches and keynotes. I give the main keynote a little bit later this afternoon, and I'm hoping that I will have a little bit of time to explore this place. The event itself is in a resort, which is lovely if you're here to relax, but I always want to explore a place, and it's a little harder to do. We're slightly removed from the main city itself, so I'm hoping I get a chance to satisfy that curiosity on this trip.
And with that dangling thought, it was on to the stage, where I had the opportunity to deliver the keynote at this event. I'm very fortunate that my work takes me to such wonderful places and gives me a chance to share the stage with some truly fascinating people.
Speech done. A lot of fun. I love doing that. I still pinch myself that after 15 years, I get to do that for a living. Amazing production, amazing audience, amazing screen. That was maybe the biggest screen I've ever had. It was easily 100 feet wide. Really unusual aspect ratio too, but I had a lot of fun putting the slides together for it. I have a bit of time now before I got to do some press interviews and then some more meetings, and then start the journey, the long journey home, even longer on the way back, which you'll see why. I've learned two things already since I've been here, two interesting things. The first is that Mactan Island, where I am, which is adjacent to Cebu itself, is where Ferdinand Magellan died, was killed actually by a now legendary tribal leader, Lapu-Lapu. He's killed by a poison arrow in a battle to stop the local people being oppressed. And that story has become part of local and national legend, as it should be. It's quite an amazing story of a part of Filipino history. The second, slightly more personal thing that I've discovered is that where I am right now, the distance between here and my home in England, where my children and my wife are, and the distance between here and where my family in California are, is almost to the mile the same, which I think is an extraordinary distance. An extraordinary coincidence as well. I guess it also means that I am about as far away from loved ones as I can possibly be right now, which I suppose is one of the beautiful curses of traveling for a living. But I do appreciate the opportunity that I have to be somewhere like this, and it makes going home even sweeter, which is is what I'm about to do.
After a painfully brief time here in the Philippines, it's a quick journey back to Cebu Airport to start the long journey home.
Back at the airport, I feel like I only just got here. Great little airport, actually. Everybody says that this is a dream airport compared to Manila, which is universally loathed, it would seem. I've heard legend of it. So the plan is to go home, obviously, but it's kind of a weird route. Emirates operate this almost like a bus loop between Dubai, Cebu, Clark, which is a city north of Manila in the northern part of the Philippines, Dubai. And so I'm going from Cebu to Clark, where I guess some people get off, some people get on. I'm interested to see how that plays out. And then on to Dubai. That's on a 777, which we'll talk about briefly. No, not everyone is an AV geek. And then quite a tight connection in Dubai, a protected connection, which means that if my flight leaving Clark is delayed, Emirates are obligated to put me on another flight back to London, but a little technicality. Doesn't always happen if you book separate tickets. And then on home on an A380. So I'm interested to see how this pans out. I'll be smooth. Weather looks exciting en route. Lots of thunderstorms to dodge again, so we'll see how that goes. But let's give it a whirl.
And with that, I clambered aboard the Emirates 777 for the short hop from Cebu to Clark, just an hour north.
So that was interesting. Just an hour hop north, just north of Manila. The cabin crew were telling me that they get off here. They've come in from Dubai to Cebu, and then up here, they get off and they'll operate the flight from Clark to Dubai tomorrow. So we're in the process of getting everybody off that's come from Dubai, wants to get off at Clark. We'll get a new cabin crew. I don't know if we get a new flight crew, but it's kind of an extraordinary bus loop that happens. So, yeah. And they still managed to do a full service, although abbreviated, but full printed menus and food and drink if you wanted. I didn't have any of it, but yeah, this is fascinating.
Just over an hour on the ground in Clark, and then up into the air again for the last 2 legs of my journey. I won't bore you with the details, but the Emirates 777 experience was solid, and the connection through Dubai Airport to catch my flight back to London was mercifully uneventful. I was very happy to sink into the seat of the final leg of my 23-hour journey home. I am excited to get back to the Philippines one day because the brief glimpse I had was tantalizing. I will be back, friends. Of this, you can be sure.